Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia and this is the Syrian Civil War Situation Report or Summary. And some people keep saying that this is not a civil war, this is a proxy war. No one is Syrian, it's all foreigners. Syrian proxy civil war or Syrian proxy war, whatever, whatever makes you, feel excited. The it's just a war to me. So anyway, a lot of shit had happened over the past 2-3 days because I was super busy, so I wasn't able to do any reporting. Over the past 2-3 days. So until today that I'm able to do. So I'm going to sum up some of the major actions as well as the latest situation in Syria. First thing first, let's cover what is the latest frontline right now. So after the all this drama about the Assad forces, the government forces, the Syrian Arab army success in defending Hama, and then they go to counterattack. Yeah, apparently the HTS, the Hayat Tahrir al-Sham is actually the more honest party, because Hama has fallen. Can you believe it? Hama has fallen. After, I thought that there was a defense line, and it's gone. And it's gone. In 2 days, it's gone. So, and there is fighting reported in Hama, particularly over in this northeastern region. In this northeastern region, that's where most of the fighting is, with the Syrian forces trying to defend against the incurring HTS forces, and they lost, and they now run away. Yeah, they basically abandoned the position. So, and this not just the troops abandon the position, even planes has to evacuate from the airbase at Hama, and this is a base where the Russians actually have a military base, which means that I'm not sure this military base, do they actually deploy fighter jets or whatnot, but there's a high chance that at least they have a ground base, and I'm quite sure that the Russian troops have to evacuate as well. So and on top of that, the HTS forces not just captured Hama, but of course the regional towns as well, including Komhane, El Shishha, Kafir Al Tun. That this is what I can't even see this. Ma'ar Del Tain. So some of these very difficult names, or Jabrin. So which means nothing to you and also means nothing to me. It's all captured by the HTS forces, and the counter attack that was allegedly along this highway turned out to be nothing much. In the end, the HTS forces managed to hold their line. There's no frontline changes, but they actually closed up that salient that was really weird. So, but the lines holds. I believe the government forces is holding at El Sukalabia. Oh, there's some terrible name. So, yeah, I'm not sure why the Syrian names are all these names are not really. I think it's some kind of dialect. It doesn't reflect the names that was coming up in certain reporting, like they are using Arab names or something. Then, but the names here is like a different kind of a dialect of Arabic. Like, yeah, it's just pronounced or spelled differently. So anyway, and what's more shocking is that there is HTS forces or rebel forces capturing Talbise, and the Talbise has basically fallen. Syrian government forces is reported to be retreating out of Talbise. They are like, woo, they are running probably to Homs, and they're going homes. They are going homes, like something like this. Then, and what's even more shocking is that the Assad forces, the Syrian Arab army, has abandoned El Rastan. Here is Al Rastan. In the report is El Rastan. So like I say, no, there's a different kind of spelling to it. So Al Rastan, and they are abandoning. And clearly, if they go south, they're going to meet into Talbise, and they're going to get shot but that's what happened. And then Russian airstrike was reported at Arslan. So it's super bizarre. And it makes me wonder if there's even any Syrian forces south of Hama at all. Given the fact that they are abandoning, Arslan already, they lost Talbise. Why would even any forces still stay in this position? I have no freaking idea. And then next is Homs. Homs is one of the biggest city in Syria. You have like Damascus, Homs, Aleppo. These are the big three, and Homs is now in danger. And the most funny thing is that ISIS is back. ISIS claim that they have captured some areas southeast of Homs after they fought with the Syrian army. So this is the simulation. So, but of course, I do not know southeast as in where, because the East ISIS ultimately, southeast could be here, it's like this is southeast, it can be very flexible. Tentatively, I'm putting the ISIS troops around this area here, but they may very, very well be actually in the desert. So, but the fact that they clash with the Syrian government forces may suggest that they are actually in somewhere a little bit more important. And not just that, the ISIS had always had certain level of presence in the deserts. I'm not sure how they actually live in the desert. Like, as if they are some kind of like a sand people, like in Star Wars. Somehow they are living in the desert, and all these are the few locations, the general locations where the ISIS forces are actually, have certain presence, and the presence seems to be expanding, or they are increasing their activities because of the entire collapse of the country. Essentially, the country is collapsing, given the fact that the speed of the advance of the rebel forces is just a sign of that it's going to collapse. Because first thing first, you must understand that Syria, this part has nothing to do with Assad anymore. This is all part of the Kurds and the SDF control. So we are talking about only this like this part, and the inhabited part is mainly only here. These are the main population centers. All these are just desert. So which is and of course you have some smaller cities and towns like Palmyra. Like this is a very famous city. A lot of war stories from Palmyra, and yeah. So and you can see that the rebel forces is going straight for Damascus at this as they go. And if Damascus fall, Syria goes into anarchy, essentially, and it will be anyone's game. So that is the current situation, and ISIS is growing. The SDF, the Syrian Democratic Forces, basically have announced, they have put out a statement claiming that they are now preparing, and they are looking at the expansion of ISIS in this chaos, and they are like preparing for it to not allow a repeat of the yesteryears where ISIS gained power in Syria. So they are expanding that situation. So otherwise, this is situation around Homs. And for some good news for those pro-Assad people who are watching, the Hezbollah has sent reinforcement to Syria. According to the Israeli media, Hezbollah has sent hundreds of fighters to Syria. And clearly, you know why this is able to be done, because there is a peace deal with Syria, with Israel. So the Israel peace deal with Hezbollah allow Hezbollah now to free up their soldiers to go to Syria. Very bizarre. So yeah. So who do you think Israel is actually supporting in this Syrian conflict? They have four options. who is Israel actually friendly to? I don't even know. It's like Hezbollah, is their buddy, and then they are just punching each other. And after that, suddenly the Hezbollah have a call. They really needed real, really to go do a real thing, which is to help Syria. Then Israel just said, "No, don't worry, buddy, I got you." Then they have a peace deal. Like, it's a kind of weird situation which don't make a lot of sense. So, otherwise, other than Hama, which is the big one, the HTS forces basically expanded massive amount of grounds. This is huge amount of grounds captured, and clearly the government forces aren't defending anymore. The previous skirmishes in the desert region around this area, let me overlap the map to show you. The previous battles in these areas clearly is lost by the government forces, it seems. Maybe this area, maybe this one, the government forces won. This one maybe half won. This is definitely lost. So whatever it is, we have the HTS forces appearing over in Salamia, as far as Ukaribat, and then there are some other locations more inwards around Suruj and some other place I can't read. So that's these are the few places, and definitely there's a lot more fighting and captures that I didn't put in the map because it's like, yeah, it's already passed. No, it's 2 days ago, 3 days ago. So that's the current situation. HTS is definitely going all out to capture the next target, Homs, and then they're going to go for Damascus. I think this is pretty clear to me what the HTS is going for. The SNA, the Syrian National Army, which is backed by Turkey, has a totally different agenda. They basically have no respect for SDF controlled regions. They basically just attack all the way to the Euphrates River, and they basically have reached the river essentially. But most of it is captured without much fighting. But certain places, the SDF decided to put out a fight. This area is one of the areas. I think I should use a different color. This is one of the area where there's an air base around there. And in this area here, south of Arima, which is where the SDF has their concrete positions, their real positions. Because this area that the SNA have captured, this was previously the government controlled areas. But this is interesting because this was also previously government controlled area. There is a Russian airbase around here, the Al Jara, and this is a Russian-Syria joint military airbase. And this airbase is now under threat, and the SDF is the one actually doing the defending. They are fighting against the SNA that was trying to attack in the pincer movement against the airbase, and somehow the SDF is the one defending. Weirdly, where are the Russians? Where are the Syrian Arab army? I have no idea. And of course the SNA also went all the way to the beach and near the Euphrates River and captured position. So all in all, there is clashes over at El Qasar as well. There's also clashes in the south of Arima. So there is certain places where the SDF said no, this is a no-go zone, and they clash with the Syrian National Army. But more things are brewing. The SDF holds a very important city of Manbij, and the SNA, the Turkish-backed forces, is now gathering a lot of troops around this area here, and there is already clashes being reported between the SNA and the SDF around this area. The Turkish artillery is also firing in these positions, and it looks like there might be a major offensive heading towards Manbij from this general area. So this is something that we will look out for, whether the SNA will start to declare, like a declaration of war against SDF, like a big operation. Because to capture Manbij, to fight along the front line is normal stuff. They always have all these skirmishes. But if let's say they go for Manbij, then I think the strategic situation changes. That means they officially dragging SDF into a war. Tentatively at this moment, the understanding is that SDF is largely neutral. But I can tell you they are screwing up the position to the point where they are becoming a pariah. I will explain to you in a while later after I finish with the SNA. The Turkish also have bombarded us various frontline positions at this border region, another border region, and also at this front line over in Tamil region. So the Turkish artillery are acting, and then we have some of mysteries, like what happened to this this SDF, the Kurdish or the SDF civilians and people that was trapped here. There was no more news, so I have no idea what the hell is happening there. And based on mappings, this is already usually all drawn as SNA controlled. So I go to follow suit, but I just want to note that the people that was trapped here, there's no more news about them. So another drama is that the SNA has condemned the HTS. So the Turkish backed forces has condemned this HTS, the Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, for acting under illusions and pretext and acting aggressively by taking captive a number of the SNA members during recent operations against the Syrian army in the north. So there are some clashes that end up having the HTS capturing SNA troops, which is weird. And the problem with this is that the HTS, there's some footage showing HTS carrying out executions of POWs. So I wonder, the SNA troops maybe accidentally, POW'd it. No. So this kind of things may cause a clash. So if the HTS continue to act in a very aggressive way, and to have no regards for SNA troops and their lives, we might see a clash between HTS and SNA, and then a new dimension will open up in this war, and that will probably give Assad and his government and his troops some breathing space. So let's see how this goes. A lot of the other news is like, the troops surrendering, they're making a deal to be evacuated from the position, some bombardments. I'm skipping all these boring details because it's like it doesn't matter in the grand scale of things. So the Sheikh Mansour enclave is still there. The SDF is still holding their positions in the Aleppo, but there was an interesting statement made by the SDF as well. They say that they deny any offensive towards the eastern part of Aleppo or east of Aleppo. Apparently, there's some rumors about SDF are going to launch an offensive or launching an offensive in the east of Aleppo. So they confirm that there's no such thing, and there's no change in their military distribution map. And in fact, they say that they are defending Manbij and the Tabqa military region. So which is referring to this area, Manbij. Tabqa, I'm not sure about Tabqa. Where is Tabqa? I wonder if this area here. So I forgot my geography of is it here? Talmia. Yeah, I need to find out for that where is Tabqa, because I forgot my Syrian geography already. I can't remember where it is. But I mean, clearly they are defending against the SNA, but you see, this is a very weird relationship with the SNA. It's like on one part they're fighting them, on another part they're making deals with them. So it's like they're afraid of offending them by saying that, they're going to fight at Aleppo. Super weird. So another untold story, another story that was developing, during the previous SYRIA that I covered, was the SDF offensive against the Hezbollah forces in the Deir al-Zor region. And the offensive actually did happen. The SDF forces basically launched a major offensive to capture 7 villages in this sector, and they basically clashed with the Hezbollah forces. However, it's not just the Hezbollah forces that they are fighting. They are also fighting against the government forces. Government forces were reported to be fighting against the SDF, and during this operation, American aircraft was active in providing air support for SDF. Shelling is reported basically in the northern part of this enclave, and there is also airstrike at the Deir airport. There is also airstrike where more or less where the government forces is operating. And one of the video that captured the airplanes, apparently the aircraft is a A-10 Warhawk. So one of the legendary aircraft, which is so ugly that becomes beautiful. One of those type of aircraft. But then that's just a rumor. Like, no, there is alleged footage from Deir of the fighting, but who knows? Maybe it's a dated video and whatnot. It's not important what kind of aircraft it was used, but it's important just to note that the Americans are supporting the SDF in their offensive operation. And then there was all the initial claims that they have captured all the 7 villages that they have set out to do. However, later information suggests that they actually did not capture any of the village. And if you look at the latest mappings, this entire region remains under government control. So on DPS mapping, this is under the Hezbollah control because, yeah, effectively it is what it is. Just that now the Hezbollah is working for the Syrian government. But if you look at general mapping, it will be under government control. And this attack by the SDF that caused clashes with the government forces is not going to be forgotten by the government side, by the Syrian government, because this is like a backstab against the Syrian government, the Assad government. And it's like in the time of like great distress, instead of trying to find a way to fight together, they attack the rear position. So there is a big problem, especially now. There is also ISIS now growing again. We have no idea how huge these ISIS forces and how prepared are they. Are they going to like start to take up a huge chunk of land again? No idea. So let's see how this continue to play out. Very, very bizarre situation. And one more thing I just remembered. The Russians actually launched missiles from their warships to support their operations. Allegedly, 5 missiles was actually fired towards Jabal Zain in the Hama countryside. Sounds super expensive, to launch warship-based missiles against HTS. So situation must be pretty bad, when you want to spend like a few $100,000 or $1 million missile on technicals and rebel soldiers. I'm not sure. So anyway, this is the general situation and a summary of the entire situation in Syria right now. And there was some airstrikes also, by the Israelis around, I think, southwest of Homs. But yeah, not very important. We shall continue to monitor because that's a passing thing. Yeah, I think I covered everything. So hopefully this helps you to get your bearings around the latest situation right now in Syria. And if you like the report, press the like button. And if you're new to DPA, welcome to the DPA Army. Press subscribe, and you'll probably get to know me much better as you watch more reports. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next update.